right, everybody's just tuning in. How you guys doing? Give it a second before we start. I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr. I've been in the band for 8 years. It's a rock band. We've done about 850 shows in 8 years, and love being in my band. Love working with Orange. I've been playing Orange amps for 8 years as well, as long as I'm in the band. So welcome. Give you guys a chance to tune in. Can you hear my voice okay? And let's check guitar. You could write the comments, ask questions, whatever you want. It's a kind of free-for-all. Got some guests coming up as well. That'll be fun. So if you can hear me, let me know. And I'm going to play some guitar. If the guitar sounds really overloaded, let me know, because I'm using a different microphone on the laptop today. Cool. So, like I promised last week on Orange Hangs, which is the name of our show with Orange, I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar in Hero Jr. So, you guys wanted to know what it sounded like using my Crush Mini through the PPC 212. This is the cabinet that I've been touring with for 8 years. I love this cabinet. And so all I'm doing is going straight in to this Orange. It's on about half. It's really fucking loud. It's really cool. And it's got two vintage Celestion 212s. I am playing through my Gibson Custom Shop 1960s reissue Les Paul with Pariah T-type pickups that Sean wound for me. They're really cool pickups. Yeah, so welcome, Orange Hangs with Ken Rose from Hero Jr. I'll play a little bit, let you hear this great combination. This is the first time I've used it through these speakers. I've used it through the 112s, but man, through the 212s, it's really loud. Come on, man. That's through this little fucker. It's really cool. I'm going to use this for sure on some recordings like this. All right. Back to the glasses for reading of the small print. Thanks. I can't give you any information on the bass crush. I'm really, really sorry. But, you know, if you tune in to Alex's show, he's the A&R rep for Orange. He's got a Orange Hang show on Tuesday. Check out on Orange Instagram or here. You can find Alex, and he knows all about that shit. I would, from my own experience, I'm sure everything is cool. Wait a sec, sorry. All the Orange stuff I've used, from this little Crush Mini that cost less than $100 to the OR50, the Rocker Verb 50. Yeah, I mean, I've used a lot of Orange products, and I really love them. I use them on everything. I used to be a vintage Marshall guy, some of you know, and Orange said once I toured with Orange, I would never go back to my Marshalls. And it's really, really been that way. They really, bring out the qualities and characteristics of all the different guitars I use. And I mean, come on, man, this is just a little amp going into 212 speakers. I don't even know how many watts this is, but it can't be that many. No tubes, just three little controls. Love it. Oh, this is gonna be my fun little thing for a while. When does the auction start? That's hilarious. I don't know. I don't have anything to sell. I can give you a free download for a cool song if you want. Anyway, for those of you joining, my name's Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr. When we're done, if you want to check out our band, you can go to www.herojuniormusic.com or at Hero Jr. on Instagram, and I'm at MyWarpedHalo on Instagram. Yeah, so I'm a singer, or not a singer. Definitely not a singer. I'm a songwriter and a music producer, as well as playing guitar in a rock band. And I'm just really glad to have a creative job and to spread the creative love with you guys. I can answer any questions you have. If you guys are in bands or coming up and have questions about songwriting, producing, how to do work at home right now, since there's not a lot of traveling going on, there's really the potential, to take really good ideas when you're at home with your band or by yourself and get things out there that people might want to have in their music collection. So any questions, if you guys are working at home, having problems doing demos, it's been really cool with my band. We've been recording everything live at home, and it's really great to not be in a studio on time restrictions. I mean, I've worked in a lot of studios and I love being in the studio, but there's nothing like being with your band and working at home, doing it at your leisure. We're recording everything totally live on a really, really minimalistic setup. And yeah, we've been able to capture the band without spending a lot of money on a lot of, lower budget microphones and stuff. But I think everything is sounding great, and we're going to be putting that record out sometime this year. So it's going to be really fun. So I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr. I don't know what couch is for sale. You definitely don't want to have my couch here in the studio. I'm playing through Crush Mini, Custom Shop Les Paul, and my PPC 212 Orange Cab. Okay, drum tracks at home. I know we're on delay, but I'm going to have to ask you some questions back. So for you that just asked me that question, are you working with a drummer, or are you using drum machine or drum samples? I mean, there's a couple different ways to do it. With the band, obviously, we've got a drummer. Thank you. We've got a drummer, and I like recording drums in mono. It's something that I've always liked, because Hero Jr. is a 4-piece band with 2 guitars. So the way I mix the band is I've got Evan, his guitar on one side and my guitar on the other, and I've got the drums and the bass straight up the middle. So I'm using mono drums, and besides the fact that I really love the way drums sound in mono, it gives it a space, and it also gives you a little bit of breathing room as far as having, quote, perfect drum tracks. I mean, obviously, I'm totally performance oriented, so if it's a great performance, it's going to be a good drum track. Ryan, our drummer, he's a great drummer, and it's wonderful recording with him, so everything sounds good. So if he plays something that works, it's going to work. And I'm using my main drum sound at home is I've got one really good microphone is my mono overhead, and then I'm just using kick, snare, top, and a couple toms. And so, okay, you're using drum machines. All right. And I guess you're in a rock band, I would imagine. Well, I'm imagining only because we're on Orange and most of the people are rock dudes here. But okay, with drum machines, there's a couple different things that I use when I'm doing stuff for film and TV, when I'm writing songs for other people and I'm doing demos and I don't have a drummer. First of all, the Steven Slate drum stuff is really amazing for a few reasons. The drum programming is really easy. It's got I'm not very well versed in computer talk, but it's got a picture of the drum set and you can play it with pads, or it's got MIDI drum grooves that you can just fly right onto your computer. So the Steven Slate drums are great. The sounds are great, and the options are really, really good. They've got everything from indie stuff to really high-level Nashville studio musician kind of stuff. So I can highly recommend Steven Slate stuff. It's a little bit pricey. It's $150 for the actual unit, and it comes with quite a lot of sounds. And then the sample packs are about $80. But every now and then they run a sale where everything's half price. I just know that whenever I use the Slate stuff, it always sounds good and it feels like a live recording. Even when I'm doing pop music and I'm doing stuff for film and TV, I always love that band feeling where it's not quite perfect sounding and it's kind of got a slushy groove. And the Slate drums are really good with that. Okay, the other drums that I use sometimes, and I'm really shitty with names, but I'm on my computer so I can look on my hard drive and I can tell you, is let me see. Okay, there's a company called Circle Samples. They've got really, really good drum grooves, different tempos, and really interesting sounds. You got to look them up. I don't have their email address. I can put it up here later. And these are things that I pay for. I'm not doing any advertisements. Over the years, I've collected a shitload of samples, and I don't always have the opportunity to use a live drummer on stuff. And sometimes I'm on the road and I need to fly drums in on projects. So Circle samples are good. And then the other samples that are really, really good, and a lot of care has been put into these, is there's a guy in Nashville named Dustin, and he's got a company, I think it's called That Sound. And he's got all kinds of stuff. He's got stuff from the drummer in Mute Math. He's got stuff from all over. So between those three things that I just mentioned, Steven Slate stuff is really, really good. With Steven Slate, you've got to actually buy. Well, actually, I think with Steven Slate, you can actually get a free version. And the free version even has enough going on to make a record on. I mean, I tried out the free version before I bought it a few years ago, and it's really the shit. So I recommend that. And then what's really cool about That Sound, I think it's called That Sound, but if you put That Sound samples in, wait, maybe it's called I Want That Sound, but I could really highly recommend it. Hang on a sec. Modern Technology Wizard. It's www.iwantthatsound.com, and yeah, those are great samples and also great loops. The cool thing with the three companies that I mentioned, Steven Slate, Circle Samples, and I Want That Sound, is besides having individual drums that you can program yourself. They've got great loops. The Slate stuff has MIDI loops too. So if you like the loops but just want to customize a few things, all you have to do is change the notes. And for really quick stuff, if I got to get something done really quick on a deadline, I can count on all three of those companies coming through with killer sounds. And if you really take time, I mean, you can do stuff that doesn't sound like you're using a drum machine. And with that sound and the loops from Circle Loops, whatever, I'll check that out too. I think it's called Circle Sounds. That stuff's all played, and they're all in tempo, but they got a really, really good feeling to all of them. I use them a lot, even with live drums on some stuff, just not the rock stuff I do with Hero Jr. is always live. CircleDrumSamples.com. That is really rad, and they're not expensive at all. And I think they've also got, I think all these companies have free sampler packs, so you can just check it out, and you can really see what's available, and if you like it, then you can buy it. So I do recommend that. That was a good question. I remember when I was just starting out, and I just really wanted to work alone, but I'm a real rock guy, and I used to sit on a drum machine trying to make it sound real. And when I look back, I can only laugh because it's so easy to just get a great drummer and do your drum tracks. But yeah, drum machines, and there's so much out there with samples now. So check that out. Oh yeah, AC/DC live in London. That's great. And AC/DC live in Paris. That's on Instagram as well. For those of you guys that are just tuning in, I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr. You can check out the band www.herojr.com. We got a few albums out. We've been touring over 850 shows over the last 8+ years. I've been using Orange since the very beginning, and I've had this cabinet on the road for 8 years, and it's awesome. It's a PPC 212, and today I'm just fucking around with the Crush Mini. It's on half. Everything's on half, and yeah, it's rad. Man, that is really fucking rocking for that little amp. Crush Mini through PPC 212. Oh, we got Blake waiting in the wings to see what kind of fuzz we got today. Hey, dude.
Hey, how's it going?
On the road.
On the road. I'm headed.
Hey, this is Blake.
Some soft shell crab for my birthday.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's your birthday.
It is.
Oh, happy birthday! Right on.
Thanks, dude.
So Blake's got a podcast called The Tonecast, or the Tone Mob podcast, and it's really cool. He's got musicians on, he's got gear people on, he's got pizza people on, he's got all kinds of people on, and the last one was great, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Celise, she's a real treat, man.
Yeah,
she's got a cool story.
Yeah, it's really cool. No, that's, if you guys have never heard of the Tone Mob podcast, it's thetonemob.com, and yeah, Blake's got some killer interviews and stories up there, so check him out. And he's usually got a fuzz for us, but on his birthday in a car, does he have a fuzz?
I do.
Oh yeah, and it's
I came prepared.
That's awesome. What you
Yeah,
got?
so what we have here, it's more of a distortion, but it definitely gets into the, try to fix that glare there. There we go. The fuzzy category as well. It's made by Hillbish Designs, and it's a signature distortion for King Buzzo from the Melvins.
Oh, right on.
And it's, as you can see, huge.
Yeah.
Very, very large
Wow,
pedal.
that's huge.
Made of steel, like it's a folded steel. Sorry, the glare is kind of hard to tell. Enclosure. It's a big boy, but it sounds as massive as the enclosure is. It's really, really cool pedal. Nathan made some really great stuff. I hope to get him on the show one of these days to talk about it. But yeah, this is a really rad distortion, and if it's for King Buzzo,
That's awesome.
you know it's gonna sound good, right? Like there's
Yeah,
no way
I've seen that around, but I've never heard it.
I'm gonna try to do a demo one of these days with it. Like, haven't got around to it yet, but hopefully soon.
That's cool. Are you driving and talking?
I'm not driving. I'm parked.
That's
but
cool.
It is hot in this car. I will tell you.
That's cool, man. I just wanted to check in. We'll have everybody check. If you give me all that information in the notes, everybody can check it out.
Okay, perfect. You want me to
You guys should check out Blake's stuff. He's really got a wealth of information. His Instagram is awesome. You posted a Jazz Master today, right?
I did. That's my 30th birthday present that I got a couple years ago. Made by Carmine Street Guitars out of New York City. And what they do is they take wood from iconic like New York structures and make it into guitars.
Oh, right on.
That one I have. The body wood is from a really scary place called McGurk's Suicide Hall that no longer exists. And then the neck is from one of the oldest churches in the country, Trinity Church. The bell tower caught on fire, and Rick was able to salvage some of the neck wood. So on the back of the guitar, if you go to that post, you'll see Cindy, his apprentice, wood burned in the two buildings where the wood came from on the back. So pretty special one for me.
Right on, dude. Well, I'll let you get to it. Have a happy birthday. And you guys that don't know the Tone Mob podcast, again, check it out. The Solis interview is right on. It's really cool. And yeah, man, have a happy birthday. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, Ken. Appreciate you. Later.
Yeah, you too. Bye. Hey, back again. For those of you just tuning in, I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with the rock band Hero Jr. I'm sitting in the studio, and today, like I promised you guys last week, I'm running my Crush Mini through PPC 212, and it's great. I think when we're done here, I'm going to play this for the rest of the night, and I'm not going to get any mixing done at all. Yeah, so if you don't know the Tone Mob podcast, Blake is a really good dude, and I actually met him through Orange when he saw our band on the Orange Instagram. So, okay, somebody asked a question about the reverb on their Rockaverb Mark III. That is kind of weird. I mean, I'm not a reverb guy, but the Mark III is usually, that's the amp that I use for sessions a lot. When I'm touring, I use an OR50 with this cabinet. That's my main thing. And Yeah, the rocker verb. The reverb works for me at all levels. I mean, like I said, I'm not a reverb dude, but I use it for like really fucked up spacey stuff and also for just tighter stuff. So you might want to check the tubes in the reverb chain. I think next week I'm going to have Amp Turco on, and he's going to talk about tubes. So I can save that question for him too. Maybe something's wrong in the tube channel. I am so untechnical that I'm not the one to ask. But on my Mark III, it works great, the reverb at all volumes. So yeah, I'll try to find out an answer, and I can post it somewhere. If you check back, I can post it on this thread. All right, so another get. Hey, dude, your phone's upside down.
It is.
Yeah, looks like you're in space. One more turn, and you got it. One more turn. Yes.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep. How you doing?
Doing great, man.
All right. For those of you that don't know, I have my good friend and special guest, Derek Hawkins. Hey, dude.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Sitting down here in my basement.
You're in New York, right?
Check out for my birthday, man. Dun, da, da.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
That is
that
cool.
Ox box.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's
Pretty
really cool.
man.
I'm gonna have one of those too. That's awesome. Are you moving your phone around? Oh, okay.
No.
That's weird.
Oh wait, I was.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Let me put it down. Oh, that sounds
You know
cool.
what I'm using, dude? I'm using my Crush Mini, just this little, as big as smaller than my hand, through 212.
Yeah, I saw those. I saw those in a music store. They sound really good.
Well, it's got a speaker out, so I'm using it through a 212, and even though it's like 1 watt or some insanely small thing, it's louder than fuck.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So let's let everybody know about you a little bit. I know you've played with a lot of people. Give us some name drop soup.
Name drops. Okay, I played with Stabbing Westward. I played with Ace Frehley, and I played with Space Hog and various, lots of people in New York City. We just play with a lot of people, but those are the 3 main ones, and then my own band.
Yeah, and Derek is a really good guitar player, and we met while my band Hero Junior was on tour, and we played a show with an artist that he was playing with, and how long have we known each other now? Like 6 years?
7 years. I just on Facebook, one of the memories just popped up. I think from that show, a picture from that show.
Wow.
And it was 7 years ago.
That's rad.
Yeah.
So what are you doing in lockdown? Because you've toured with a bunch of people. You got a beard now. You've been locked down.
Locked down. I just turned 50 2 days ago, so that's why I grew the beard in honor of that. Just playing a lot of guitar. I got back into recording a lot. I get like studying stuff that I holes in my playing that I've never got time to work on. So I just had to work on them. No excuse now.
That's cool. What guitar? What's your main guitar right now?
ES355 is my main guitar.
The same.
Same one I had when I met you. Yeah.
Yeah. The black one, right?
Black one. Yeah, it's my baby. I got that when I was on the road with Ace in 2008. It was always my dream guitar. I played Les Pauls exclusively my whole life, really. And then I got a 335, and when I started playing with Ace, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get my dream guitar, because he was really kind of close with Gibson.
Yeah.
And his I don't know if you know John Ostrowski. Do you know John Ostrowski?
No.
John was with Gibson for a while back then, and I asked him, and he's like, yeah, sure, we could definitely work that out. And I could not believe it, man. When I got that guitar, it was just like I didn't need anything else in the world. That was just my favorite.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah, it's with and you're what amps are you using now? What's your main amp that you're playing?
I have, I go back and forth. I mean, lately I've just been using for shows, just using modelers. I got a Strymon Iridium pedal, which is actually really, really good. But as far as rigs go, I'm an AC30 guy. I'm an AC30 and Marshalls. Marshall, I have a JCM 800 right now that I've had for years. This one here, this particular one, was actually used on the first Anthrax album.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So I bought it for somebody who just
you cut out for a second. Did you say that the AC? Did you say that the AC30 was on the Anthrax album?
No. The
okay,
JCM
cool.
800
Yeah.
that I have. Yeah, I have a 1983. It's 100 watts, loud as hell. I mean, I can't, now that I got this aux box there, I could play with it, but I mean, I can't even put it on one. If not even on one, it's so loud. But I needed it for the Space Hog tour a couple of years ago. I was just using AC30s, and my AC30 was kind of like beaten up and no good, and I was going on the road. So my buddy was selling this 800, and he goes, "Yeah, this I don't use it anymore. It was used on the first Anthrax album, the Fistful of Metal album." And I was like, "All right, well, it's got to work for Space Hog then." So.
That's really cool. And yeah, man, it's weird not touring, huh?
It's weird. It's weird not playing shows. Just
yeah,
like not doing anything.
I know but you've been working at home. Same with us. We've been recording, and I think I mean, at first it was a real bummer, and then we just all decided it's going to be a while, so we're going to figure out what to do. So we're almost finished with our album, and you've been recording a bunch of stuff, right?
It seems like you guys are doing a great job, man. I love the way your stuff sounds. You know that. We talk once in a while, and it just always sounds so killer. It's so powerful. Your singer's voice is like Steve Marriott to me. I think he's one of the best singers out there.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's really amazing that after all these years, we ended up doing this together, and pretty thankful for that. So yeah, what else is going on music-wise?
Just getting, like I said, I got my studio down here. Oh, that's another thing. During the quarantine, I have a recording studio with my best friend, and we kind of had to just lock down. I mean, I wasn't over there all that often, but once the lockdown happened, I couldn't get over there at all. So when my wife and I moved into this house 18 years ago, I built the studio down here in the basement. I have this is the control room. All this Orlex stuff is still here from when I first bought it 18 years ago. And yeah, it's crazy because I just never used it. I had another recording studio, but there's a live room in there, a big live room, and which is where my wife works out now. We don't even use it for recording. It's a drum set and all her workout equipment. But in here, I was like, you know what? Why not use this room? I can't go over to the studio. Why not just get back into recording and learning my stuff? You know me and my tech stuff. I'm horrible at it. I was on the phone with you a couple of nights ago going, what the hell? But I'm really, really super enjoying being down here.
Yeah, that there are a couple people there always asking how to improve their sound in their studio, and I'm always saying that it's all feeling at the beginning. Like if you nail something that feels really good, even if you're in your home studio and you don't know so much about technology, it usually comes across. I mean, there's so many great records that are still, people made demos that they couldn't top when they went to make their record, and there's a lot of stuff that's been released on 8-track that just sounds amazing.
Totally. I totally understand that. I one of the first things I did when we locked down is I have a band called Dr. Johnny Fever here in New York City, New York State, and it's all like we do Sly and the Family Stone, James Brown, Van Halen, and that stuff of that, like you can dance to. And when I did all the guitars, I did them with that Iridium pedal, and I was like, oh, this is great. When I got the aux thing, I was like, no way, I got to go back and do all the guitars over. So I plugged it in, and no joke, plugged in the 800, got these killer sounds, And I was just like, nah, the guitars are there. They sound fine. I'm not going to be able to top those. They don't sound as good as the Ox did, but the feeling, there's no way I'm going to get that again by going over and doing it. So I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah, I think that's something that some people have a hard time with, only because a lot of people that haven't been recording a lot, or they listen to records and they think, wow, this is great, I could never do it. But I think if you take off your blinders and don't try to make it pro and just do your thing, a lot of stuff that comes out of the house is just, sometimes it's just way more inspired than when you load up your gear. You got to set it up in the studio. You've got to, there's a lot of other people around. I mean, I've done so many sessions, and you too, and it's great being around people and working, but sitting alone at home and experimenting and then just using that stuff on records. I mean, I'm just a person that I don't believe in demos. If it's good, it's a record.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I really, I really think that's an important thing for people that are starting out, that put it out there and see what people think. I mean, getting a thick skin and not worrying so much about what people think, and just doing your art and having fun. And you never know when people are going to tune into what you're doing. You might think, oh, this isn't good enough, this isn't right yet. I mean, sometimes it isn't right, but there's a lot of shit that I didn't want to put out that I did, and it worked really well. I mean,
yeah, well, I've heard things sound wronger by doing it over.
Yeah.
like with my studio that I have with my partner. I mean, we have all top of the line stuff there, and like I said, I did those guitar tracks with the Iridium pedal. Not that I'm not pushing the Iridium pedal. It just sounded good for what I needed, and he was like, yeah, everything sounds great. And he's total techie guy. He goes, yeah, he's a little 4 or 5K on the rhythm guitars. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, well, when you come to the studio, you can redo the guitars. I go, like I just said, I was like, I don't need to. It's not gonna be any better. That feels good to me.
Yeah,
that feels good. And everybody who's heard, remember that one I sent you, Ice Cream Man, I think, right?
Yeah,
Ice Cream Man. That was with that pedal, and it's just like,
yeah,
it sounds fine.
I never even heard of that pedal, but I'm not up on my
modeling pedals. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I purely got it for a just a like for cover gigs around town. I didn't want to bring a Marshall or an AC30. Forget that, dude. It's like 100 pounds, and you can never turn them up loud enough to get them to sound good. So
I'm so loving this sound right now.
That sounds really good, man. That sounds pretty good.
That feature that it can plug into another speaker. I never plugged it into this one, and I had no idea how loud it would be, because I've only plugged it into a 112, and it's like I could almost rehearse with this.
That's really cool. That's a combo amp on the top there.
It's this.
That's how small that is. I thought that was way far back. Oh my god! I thought that was like at the back of your room.
Dude, this is the best. It's the. I mean,
you don't need anything else.
It's really weird.
That's incredible.
I think what happens is that the bigger the speaker it is, the more it can power. But I mean, it's just a 9 volts. It's just a palm. It fits in the palm of my hand. This is what we take in the van when we're on tour, and it's just like a little practice amp. I love this amp, and that's
incredible, man.
So the next, now I've done it through everything. So next is going to be a 412. But the sustain.
What's it on right now?
It's on like it's through a 212.
Okay.
And it's on like half. And it's really like when you play it on your own, it doesn't go that loud. I mean, it's going through like a 5-inch speaker, But what
That's incredible.
what it's never done before though is I'm not even facing it, and it like. Like it
That
sounds like
really good, man.
it sounds like a tube amp.
It sounds like rock and roll to me.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I was using the Vox 30, and a Marshall, and that's when Orange said, try the OR50, and you'll never go back, and they were actually right.
OR50, I'll check that out.
Yeah. And
now you were saying you were using an AC30 and a Marshall as well?
I was using two 212 combos. Like when I was in London, that was my rig. I was using a JMP 1969 combo, no master volume, just where you cross over the wires and just use
yeah.
And then I was using a early 70s AC30. And
that's really cool. That's what the guy from Suede uses, that exact setup.
But I mean, I'm so, everyone always goes, well, you're just pitching Orange, but it's like, man, I've done over 1,000 shows now, and so many sessions, and those, everyone thinks they're just a rock company, but man, I think that the Rocker Verb 50, the clean channel, that takes effects better than any amp that I've ever played on a clean channel.
I used that at a rehearsal room one night, and it sounded really good. Yeah. So how long have you been using Orange? How long have you been using Orange amps?
Since Hero Junior. That's how it started. I was in London, and a friend of mine hooked me up with them, and I told him I was coming over. I didn't even know that I would be joining a band. I actually just came over to do the CD release party because we produced and wrote the album together, and we played one show, and I never went home. And so,
oh really?
Yeah. So for the first show, I borrowed a friend's Bassman 50 in like a half stack, and I was using that for the first week I was playing with the band, and it got so hot that it would like drop down in volume, and I was waiting for my Orange stuff, and I got it, and I've just been using it ever since. So little more than 8 years, and same amp, same cabinet, no problems. I haven't really, even on bigger gigs with 212, it's been great. I mean, I'm gonna change it around a little bit, and I think I'm gonna start switching between heads. But
right,
yeah. So, all right, man. Well, it was good hanging.
Yeah, dude, it's great to talk to you. Great to see you and talk to you.
Yeah, we'll get Mark Levy up here too and see what's going on. I think he's working today.
That guy's the best. That's the guy. Have you guys been able to talk at all?
Nope.
No. Wait till you talk to him, man. He's really he's one of a kind. He's one of a kind.
All right. Well, you
one of the best people on earth.
Stay cool, dude. All right.
I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man. And everybody,
take care.
Check out. Where are you on social media where people could hear you play?
Pretty much just Facebook. I'll have actually at the end of the month. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. So I'll be. I'll talk to you about that later because I'm going to definitely need your input. And
and we'll promote you, man. Derek's a great guitar player. He's played with some cool bands, and he's always doing cool shit. So check him out, Derek Hawkins. See you, man.
Thanks.
Love you. Bye. Hey, we're back. I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Junior. And yeah, let's check out some more Crush Mini.
You
Pretty cool. Crush Mini through a 212. It can be done. See what kind of questions you guys got. Yep, sometimes the couch is sleepy. Shit happens. Yes, Mark III clean channel is unbelievable. And yeah, I think that's a question that a lot of people ask with the clean channel. How can you? That's why I've always got Blake from Tone Mob Podcast on, because people are always looking for the right fuzz that goes through a clean channel. And what I really like about the Rocker Verb 50, which actually the OR 50 is not as good. The OR 50 I like using cranked pretty hot and letting natural overdrive happen. And the thing that I like about the Mark III 50 watt Rocker Verb is that whatever pedal I put through there, it really sounds like the pedal, like the guitar. It's super warm. I always keep my settings pretty straight up on the Rocker Verb, and it's that clean channel is great, and it's got the attenuator, so you can actually crank up the clean channel until it breaks up, and you can keep the volume really low, which is really, really cool. See you, Slushy. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the humor. So yeah, Rocker Verb 50, and we'll check out what's wrong with that reverb next week when I've got Anthony on, because he's going to have an answer for that. My name's Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr. Thanks for hanging out at Orange Hangs. We're here every Monday from 4 to 5 Eastern Time, 9 to 10 Great Britain time. And yeah, I'll play a little. I'm playing a custom shop 1960s reissue Gibson Les Paul Standard with Pariah T-type pickups. I just got these pickups put in not too long ago. I'm really, really happy. These are some killer humbucking pickups. I've got a 1972 Les Paul Standard that's got original T-tops in it, and I was really looking to find a way to get this guitar just a little bit closer to that one, and I'm really, really happy with these pickups. They sustain really well. They feel really good. I'm not really technical. I don't know a whole lot about the technical aspect of guitars, but this feels really good, the wood and the pickups together. So, and I'm playing through a Crush Mini, and I'm using the external output, and I'm going through a PPC 212 cab. So yeah, this is what it sounds like. Lead pickup. Wow, broke a string. I've been trying to break a string for about a half a year. That's the first one that I've really broken. I've been using DNR strings for this year, and I love these strings, and they never break, but today one broke, so guitar switch. Okay, this is my number one guitar. I've had this guitar forever. This is the 72 Les Paul I was talking to you about, and it's got T-top original pickups in it, and I love this guitar. That is a really cool combination. Try that. If any of you guys have a Crush Mini, play it through any extension speaker cabinet. It's really cool. Yeah, this one's never going away, Jay. Sorry. I've always the whole reason that I even got the other Les Paul is I've been trying to find a double for this. I've always been looking. I've played shitloads of guitars, and yeah, and then Gibson hooked me up with the 60s custom shop, and that's a great guitar too. So I'm really happy. But no, sorry, but happy birthday, man, whenever that is, and I hope somebody gives you a guitar. Someone asked what gauge strings I use. I am using D&R 11 gauge pure blues strings. I use them on all my guitars. They're super consistent, and they really sound good, and they feel good. And you know, I'm always saying that I'm not really a technician. I'm really into the feel of stuff. And if something doesn't feel right, I really can't play worth a shit. And yeah, I both Evan and I in the band use them, and ever since we started using them, I mean, we love it. So really cool strings, D&R 11 gauge pure blues strings. Yeah, for those of you that are just coming on, my name is Ken Rose. This is Orange Hangs. We do this every Monday at 4 o'clock. I'm a guitar player in a band called Hero Junior, and I'm a producer and a songwriter as well. So if you guys have any questions, or you guys are having problems, or you want to figure out how to get more out of your system at home to record with, or get songs out there, or improve the songwriting in your band, whatever, ask away. Today I'm using PPC 212 cabinet hooked into this little, smaller than my palm, mini Crush Mini. Really reacts great to volume too. Cleans up. Pretty cool. See what it's like in the middle. Shit, that is cool. Oh, look at that. It's 5 o'clock. All right, it's time to go. My name is Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr. We're here at Orange Hangs. It's Monday, 4 o'clock. I'm here every week at 4 o'clock. If you've got questions or want to talk about your band, promote your shit, hit me up here. You can hit me up on my DM at mywarpedhalo. It should be down there, but I'll put it there. I'll list some places you can go to check out those drum samples that you were looking for back in the beginning. And yeah, man, hope you guys are all doing well. Be safe, be happy, and yeah, we'll see you next Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Excuse me, on Orange Hangs. All right, have a good one. Take care.